did these Dead Man's Cabal. As I said, he did Secret Cabal, but they don't speak to me. Think I'm an arse. You know, we're the Secret Cabal. So there we go. It's just, I don't want to come to Gen Con because I'm aware there's about 12 of them, and I'd have to fight them all in a Matrix type style, I reckon.
But you like Neo, so I think you could do it.
I don't know. See, I was thinking about this, right? If you're going to fight other content media people, yeah, I'd probably go for probably Board Game Barrage or Barrage, just because they're all tank and no trousers. You know, it's just three guys. And from what I know, they're kind of all pretty kind of IT, kind of, you know, working computers all day. I don't think they do the fitness thing. They're so very wrong about games. There's just two of them. So as long as I take one of them out really quickly, I could probably, you know, deal with the other one. It depends on the size of them, because they sound quite meaty guys. I don't know about Blue Peg, Pink Peg, because
Rob's a big guy.
Yeah,
and Christina's fierce. I would be more scared.
I know,
of Christina.
that's the thing. That's what I'd be worried about. Is I'd be more worried about Christina than I would be more worried about anybody else. You know, and then then you've got the girls' game shelf as well. You've got them. There's just a lot of people that, I mean, this is probably a bad idea, me even thinking about just kind of taking any of them on. So very wrong about games. I think I would be fine. I think I would be fine with them. I'm not entirely sure. Blue Ped, Pink Ped, I'd probably go around with a fruit basket and apologise profusely if I got into a battle with them. Secret Cabal, there's about 15 of them. So I'm going to need like a baseball bat. And I think it's going to be one of those Batman things. I'm going to need to invite them into a room and then switch the lights off and then just attack them in the dark. You know,
we could do the 300 thing, right? Funnel them all into one location. So you just do it one at a time.
Just to one location. You know, I think the scariest person is, and that would be it, really. I don't know if there's any other media people I would really want to, you know, Ludology. I kind of Emma's my friend, so I wouldn't, you know, the Dice Tower, I'd take them all on. The Dice Tower are easy. You just kick the Dice Tower over.
Yeah, but Tom's a mountain of a guy. Like
Tom is
he's a giant.
He's a giant of a man. He'd just pick me up, and it would be like that scene in Deadpool 2.
Right.
He'd pick me up and he'd just go, "I'm going to rip you in half." And that would be me. I'd be like Deadpool on the ground with my guts.
He's the juggernaut.
Kind of spilling out. Exactly. Join us next week for more infighting in the media, where I talk about who would, if I could actually maybe take on Jamie Stegmaier. But I've heard he knows Kung Fu.
Wow.
I've heard he knows Kung Fu. I mean, you can tell. Jamie is the type of guy, he has a good diet. You know, if somebody says to him, the ideal thing you need to do is you need to go for a walk for at least 5 kilometers a day, you know he's doing 7. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying. So, joining me on the show, he's a very important person. Well, it's kind of between a person and a thing. He's a kind of, the reason we got into this violence thing is because I was actually going to ask him what happened to the other 11 things. As I say, and he's the person to ask. He's not only the person, he's a person. In fact, he's Epperson. It's Sean Epperson from Thing12 Games. So hi, Sean.
Hello.
You get a medal for listening to me just kind of like going off on some kind of tangent about fighting other people. I didn't mention shut up and sit down, did I?
Oh, that's true.
I've already fought them and won. That's why.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
This checks out. This seems legit.
Well, they're in the UK, so they were fairly easy to kind of, you know, to persuade them. It was a bit weird, though, because Quinn's wanted to fight in mud. So, I don't know, but that's a completely different story. It's been a while since we spoke. And in fact, I think the last time that we might have spoke was potentially about Dinos Not Assembled, I believe, which went on to fund, went on to do kind of reasonably well. Where are you in that kind of lifetime with that project? Where are you abouts with that at the moment?
Well, we have a lot of things going on. So with Dinos, we are wrapping up all the art. We're getting the player boards, put together as far as like the art, getting the meeples done, the illustrations that go on the meeples, getting everything formatted for manufacturing, working on the new box art, just getting everything kind of like ready to go off to manufacturing. So it's not quite ready to send to them yet, but we have all their files, so we know kind of what's expected.
Was it a different process doing the Dinos game over like the other kind of dice games that you've done? Because it seemed to be a much bigger offering that you had.
Yeah, it really was. So every game that we're doing, we're trying to look for ways that we can have something new that we're doing. So we're learning new things and being able to offer more things to the public. So with Dinos, we were doing tiles, we were doing player boards, and a game board. So those are things we hadn't done before. So from a prototyping standpoint, that was really new and kind of exciting to learn and get the process of. And, now getting the process of getting that ready for manufacturing and all that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's been fun.
Did it mean kind of like a new set of spreadsheets for yourself with different tabs and different colours so you could organise how everything was kind of happening and going together?
Well, we use, there's different what if they're needing CMYK or all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, there was some new things, some new challenges. When we get it back from manufacturing, see where everything's at and if it's, the quality that.
Are you at the process? Are you at the point where you're going to get the finished kind of final manufactured prototype back for your kind of approval? Then is that where you are?
We're probably a couple months out from that. We're still wrapping some things up to go to manufacturing. The different pieces done. The biggest thing that we're working on now is the box art and the box, how that's going to look, working through some different art pieces. So what we put up originally, we can take it a step further. We can do a little bit more with it and do a little bit better. And that's kind of our thing. Like we want it to be as top quality, as good looking as we can.
Yeah, is it? See, with that, I mean, especially if you're doing something new and you're branching out into almost like a different style of game, is it more important that you kind of make sure that the final product is 110%, basically, is so that you can almost, I guess, demonstrate to yourself that you can get it done more, even over the kind of the backers themselves as well?
Yeah, so we would rather have something be late and higher quality than rush it out and have it be on time. So an example of that would be Seals of Cthulhu. So that one that one's pretty late for us as far as like our delivery date. We're expecting that within the next month or so. We're just waiting for it to get here.
All right, okay.
And the reason why we took all that time is because we really wanted to look special. We really wanted it to be top tier. We put a lot of extra time and added some special things in there for people that they don't know about yet. They'll find out maybe when they get it.
Is there actual seals now in Seals of Cthulhu?
That's what really took so long. It was going out procuring all the seals and the humanitarian rights. It's this whole nightmare.
You got to fill in a lot of customs forms and stuff like that as well. I mean, it's not just as simple as gathering up a couple of seals and sticking them in a box, as far as I'm aware. I mean, these things need fed. I'm kind of concerned, I must admit, of the boat trip, and I hope that you have made them aware. Unless, of course, are you just letting them swim alongside the ship before they actually go back in
we
the
had to buy
container?
fish. bunch of like sardines and things. So they're supposed to be taking care of feeding them while they're on the boat, but
And do they transfer into transform into fully horrific Cthulhu monstrosities? I mean, has the injection worked so it's time delayed, so that when people open the box and go, "Oh, a cute little seal, that's rather," and then, "Oh my goodness, what's that going to affect?" kind of thing. Is that kind of where you're going with kind of this?
We told them, don't open these. If you open these, it will literally end the world. So, we really impressed upon the shippers, like the precautions they need to take. Hopefully they listen to us.
Oh my goodness. Do you know what the best thing about this is? That you actually entertain the nonsense that just comes out of my... So have you... It sounds to me then you've been working more on the kind of the back office stuff and getting kind of everything together and getting it ready over kind of the designing side of things. Is that true?
No, actually, we're doing both. So we have lots of irons in the fire. We've got seals that's coming in. We have dinos that's getting ready to go through manufacturing. Getting that wrapped up. We have Dice of Dragons, which is the third one in the Dice of series. Let's see, we've got a prototype for that. The core rules are basically down and done. We're doing some final testing. And we have rule sets that we've partnered with some people, Sarah and Will, Eurogamer Girl on Twitter. They did Oaxaca and Project Dreamscape. We worked with them to create the rule set that allows you to work Dice of Dragons versus Dice of Crowns and Dice of Dragons versus Dice of Pirates. So you're getting essentially 3 games with, actually 4 with Dice of Dragons. So that's been a lot more work, but we're pretty excited about it.
So does that allow you to kind of retroactively add in the other games that you have to kind of Dice of Dragons so you can mix the components together? Is that kind of what you were looking at?
Right. So there's basically a special rule set. So if you have Dice of Dragons, there's a rule set that will let you mix Dice of Dragons versus Dice of Crowns, and it plays completely different, but utilizes the mechanics in kind of unique ways. And then there's another rule set that lets you play Dice of Dragons versus Dice of Pirates, and it's completely different, and utilizes those rule sets in different ways as well.
Have you looked at kind of like reworking some of the rules to provide even more different kind of player modes and stuff like that as well? Has that allowed you to kind of revisit and kind of add in a kind of like additional rules to make, to make Dice of Crowns play slightly differently? Is that giving you that opportunity to look at that as well?
Not really. We kind of focus on the core game. So Dice of Dragons has, its main rule set, which is basically the players kind of fighting against each other, but there's a dragon that they're all attacking and trying to get gold from. It's sort of a almost competitive sort of game. You have to work together to get all the gold, but only one person's going to win. But then there's a fully co-op version of that game as well. So just within the core set, it's got 2 different ways to play. There is a solo version of Dice of Crowns that someone put up on BGG, and it's actually pretty fun. So that was pretty cool.
Have you thought about kind of including that in like a next printing or version or anything like that then, or are you going to just direct people to the BGG and let them know where they can kind of they can get the rules for that then?
Yeah, because if we included that, we would have to change the document that we use for the rules.
Oh, right.
There's no room on that thing. We pack it full, so we would actually have to have something more, and it would get more expensive. So it's sort of cost prohibitive for us to do that. But we definitely, if people come up with different rules ideas and they post those up there, we're happy to share them out. And like, hey, check this out. Here's a fan that created this thing. It's pretty cool.
Is this with a view of, are you looking at kind of building bigger and bigger? I mean, is there the big epic game about to hit kind of Thing12 games?
Yes, it's funny you said, because that's absolutely where we're going. It's important for us to have. We really want to have like kind of a wide variety in our catalog of the games that we're offering. We've got the smaller games, like the Dice of series, and then we've got, a 2-player offering in Seals, and then we have a family offering with Dinos, and we're just kind of keep expanding that out. There's a worker placement game that I've been working on for a while now. It's probably about a year out before it's quite ready, but it does some things that I haven't seen done in a worker placement game, which is kind of cool. So, we keep working on that. There's what we're calling a 5X style space game that we're kind of working on as well. And that's kind of a bigger thing. So there's lots of things that we keep building up to. And again, different things that we haven't done before. Let's try something new. Let's kind of expand it out.
Is the intention still to go back to kind of Kickstarter for the projects that you're going to be bringing out from Thing12 games then? Is that the kind of the idea at the moment?
Yeah, most of them. At least the bigger ones. Yeah. There are some smaller projects that we are working on. There's a game called Matches that we've been working on the design side. And it's a smaller game. We want our idea with it is that it's basically a card game. We're kind of playing with fire. And it's a really interesting game based on kind of burning things around you. And because it's called Matches, you're actually making matches throughout the game. And from a components standpoint, what we want to have the game come in is an actual matchbox. So it won't be like a physical matchbox, but it will look exactly like a matchbox, right? So it actually slides out of a sleeve, and there would be the rule book would actually be upside down, so that you see all the matches, kind of lined up, so it looks like a legitimate matchbox. But then as you take the road out, you're like, oh, there's the game. So that's one that we're just going to straight up print. It's within our budget to be able to do something like that. Recently, we did the stacked dice series. This is something completely different, for us. Stacked dice is a card set, a 20 card set. It's got this really cool art on it, and on the other side of that art is a bunch of different dice. The core dice that you see when you play role playing games or whatever. D4, D6, D10, D8, D12, and D20. And we have numbers on those dice. So for people that go, you know what, I roll dice and dice hate me. I always roll ones. They suck. You can actually take the cards, shuffle them up, flip a card over, and that's the die that you rolled. So it gives you a different way to kind of, play games, whether it's an RPG or, if there's a game you play that's got, a D20 or a D6 or whatever, you use these to do your dice rolling for you. And that was something we just, went straight to manufacturing and printed.
Is that, have you looked into kind of like working with others, taking your ideas and kind of like pitching them in order to work alongside kind of other companies? Because I'm seeing that kind of happen kind of more and more, where there'll be kind of like established kind of designers saying, well, actually we're partnering up with this company here, and we're going to Kickstarter with them, where they're going to kind of publish the game. Are you obviously maintaining kind of Thing12's identity, but also at the same time you think, well, have you thought about kind of pitching to other, companies like Pandasaurus or something like that?
There's always a possibility of doing something like that. We're not at a point where we're ready to go down that road, but with our bigger games, that might be something that we look into. I think for the time being, we're kind of wanting to keep everything in-house. It gives us a lot more control over, who we work with, how we work, a lot more autonomy that way. Okay. You've got, at the time we're talking, you're about to embark on the kind of the Extra Life event. I know it's something that's kind of like you've been doing for a while, yeah. Yeah.
We don't usually. We talk normally about kind of like games and designs and Kickstarter and, but what kind of got you into getting involved in the kind of the Extra Life? I mean, do you want to maybe guess, if we take a step back, do you want to explain what Extra Life is kind of about in the first place, I guess, is the
So
the best
Extra
place to
Life
start.
is a charity that was put together to bring people that love gaming, whether it's video gaming, tabletop, role play, or board gaming, and to come together on a specific date. And basically, it's for charity, right? So a lot of people, what they do is they'll like, hey, we're going to play this game or these sets of games for a certain amount of time. You can donate to our Extra Life campaign, and all that money goes to whatever charity that you're donating to. 100% of that goes there. The charity that we are a part of is the Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. The children's hospitals actually do a whole lot for any kids that have to go to the hospitals. They provide the right games. They provide services for the parents. They really go above and beyond to really take care of the family and the kids. And a lot of that is only possible because of the people that are part of these donation drives for them. So that's very near and dear to my heart because I love being a part of something positive to make people's lives better. For me as a designer, that's what I love about being a publisher and designer, is seeing people enjoy and have fun with what we're making, and getting to do that on the player side. Like, we get to play games and have fun and help raise money for people that really need support, and that's really cool. So what we started doing is my buddy Josh, he was a part of this as well, and we're like, yeah, let's get together. We'll just start doing some gaming. We joined up with Late Night Tabletop. He does a lot of Twitch streaming, so he knew that. And so we just like, hey, we're gonna game for 25 hours, and I think we raised like $500 the first time that we did it. And and that was really cool. Like, hey, we're having positive impact. That's really neat. So we're never happy with just good enough, right? It's like, okay, well, how can we make this bigger next year? And so we just kept doing it. This year has been the biggest one by far. So we partnered up with our local game store, Zulu's Board Game Cafe in Buffalo. Amazing people. They're super nice, super friendly. They're going to be hosting us there for 25 hours. So that means that people that work at the store are going to be there, and they're keeping the entire store open for 25 hours, 8 a.m. Saturday until 8 a.m. Sunday. And we had a local sausage maker, Uli Sausage. They donated a bunch of sausage, so we've got a special food menu. Like there's a 5 cheese macaroni with pulled pork, and there's a Seattle dog using Uli sausage. So anybody that buys off that special menu, money for that goes to Extra Life. We've got a bunch of designers and publishers that are coming in to do demos, and you can play demos with them. We have so many games that we're raffling off. So when people come to the store, besides playing games and having fun with their friends, they can buy a raffle ticket for $5. And each raffle ticket is a chance to win literally hundreds of games. We've got publishers like AEG and myself, Thing12 as well. Tasty Minstrel Games. Flying Frog Games. We've got like 20 or 24 different publishers that have donated prizes to us. And some pretty huge prizes as well. We've got a Widower's Wood with a Kickstarter by Privateer Press, and they donated a box that looks like a treasure chest. It's really as big as a treasure chest is. Stained wood, leather inlay, with their Widower's Wood game with the expansion and a wood insert, and it's a $350 prize, and people can spend $5 for a raffle ticket to win it. That's just insane. So they come to the store, they play games, they get raffle tickets, they buy food, and they get to demo games with all these people. So there's tons of stuff for everybody that's able to come down and hang out with us to do. Plus, on top of all that, we're going to be Twitch streaming, and we'll be Twitch streaming from 8 a.m. till 8 a.m. playing all these different games, and we want people to have a way to interact with us. So as you're watching us play these games, you can actually donate to get raffle tickets, because we'll be raffling games over the Twitch stream, but you can also donate to screw with us. So if we're playing a game like, you know what, Sean needs to take a hit. He needs, to lose $5, or he needs to lose a meeple, or whatever. They can donate money, and that happens in the game, and that person gets screwed over.
And how much money do you have to donate?
It's $5 for most of them. We've got some specific things that you can do in certain games. Ones that are really biggie, like have a really huge impact on the game, are going to cost a bit more. So these games are probably going to play a little unbalanced, but it's for charity, it's for fun, so it's all good.
I'm definitely thinking about is it possible to stay up for 24 hours? And secondly, I'm just wondering how much spare, what the exchange rate is like between pounds and dollars at the moment, because I'd certainly like to make your time doing this as fun as possible. Joking aside though, I take it as possible for people who are not on your side of the lake to kind of get involved in a kind of like a donation thing. They can do that if they go on Twitch stream, then they can donate, and they can kind of get involved that way as well. So you don't have to be US based. If you're like based over here in the nicer part of the world, good old Scotland, you can kind of get involved that way as well.
Yeah, that's true. For the game raffles, I think they're limiting them to the US just because the shipping costs are expensively prohibitive. But if you just want to, watch a Twitch stream and, have some fun messing with us, and then you can absolutely do that. And the website that you donate through is through Extra Life, so it handles all that and handles the exchange and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Do you go to the hospitals yourself? Do you get kind of like feedback from the hospitals themselves? Do they kind of communicate with you what you've done and stuff like that too when you donate the money?
Well, this year they have. So last year we raised a little over $3,000, which is amazing, right? Just super cool.
That is amazing, yeah.
And because we kind of hit that, like, hey, you guys are having a big impact level, people have started kind of like, wow, okay, this thing's legit. This is having a big impact. So they're kind of getting involved with this. Seattle Children's Hospital donated so for people that like baseball, King Griffey Jr. Signed a bat and it's got a certificate of authenticity. Seattle Children's Hospital actually donated that to us as one of the prizes that we can raffle off to people. The person that runs the Seattle chapter for Extra Life found out about us, and he's like, wow, this is really cool. I want to help, support you guys. And they're going to be talking about the event as well. So they are super appreciative for everything that we've been doing. And it's a lot of work. It really is, because we spend most of the year kind of getting ready for it, like contacting people and getting games together and talking about meeting after meeting after meeting about like what games we're going to be doing and all that sort of stuff. It takes a huge team of people to do it, and we don't get paid for it. It's just because we love being a part of something that is so positive and has such a big impact on people's lives.
I think it's given back as well, and you're always aware that these charities are kind of like every single penny's a prisoner. And I know some people who are kind of like, well, I want to give money, but I want to give like $10, but I can't really afford $10. And it's like, well, give $5. And if you can't afford $5, then give $1. And if you can't afford $1, then, share it about social media a bit, because that's one of the most important, one of the most important things is to kind of help to spread the word in these things. I've been kind of a lot of the fundraisers kind of work really, really well, and it's not necessarily the people that are throwing a buck at it that obviously helps, but it's the people that are just going out and saying, okay, I'm going to share this everywhere that I can, that can kind of get it to an audience of people who kind of aren't aware of it. What are you doing? Are you making sure that are you going to be making sure you're going to get plenty of sleep, drink lots of water? Are you then going to get coffeeed up? Or are you going to do your usual, which is, are you going to sit up and watch bad Netflix things and then kind of wake up an hour and a half before you're meant to start and go, I'm ready. Give me my extra caffeine Red Bull. I'm going to be drinking Coke that's got spoonfuls of coffee in it just to kind of keep me going.
Well, my goal is to get some sleep, but we'll see. I don't always make the best choices before things like this, so we'll find out. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be up from 8 a.m. till 8 a.m., so 25 hours, and it's 25 too, because here in the U.S. we have daylight savings time, and that's kind of why it's called extra life, because the clocks tick back, so we get an extra hour, so it's an extra life.
See, that was us last weekend, and that's why I think we ended up kind of delaying when we were meant to speak to, because I was kind of like, I'm going to speak to all these people, and it's like, oh no, the times have changed. So all the clocks kind of changed, which meant I was kind of like having to say to people, can you speak an hour later? And they were like, are you joking? It's kind of like, I'm doing serious business here. I can't all of a sudden change the time. So that means we're kind of moving kind of people around, which is fine. But yeah, we had it kind of last weekend, which are kind of going, it's an extra hour in bed, but it's not great if you've got young kids because they still wake up at the same time. In fact, they're kind of getting up that little bit earlier, which is all good. I can only wish you kind of like really good luck with that. And we will obviously make sure that we kind of share it kind of far and wide to make sure that we can get the name out there. And I will also make sure, if you're listening to this right now and it is the 2nd of November, then I have basically busted my ass to edit this bad boy into some kind of format so you can listen to it now. So what I'm saying to you is to pause the podcast, jump onto the little show notes, because there will be a link to the Extra Life charity event that Sean is involved in. Click that link, and as we say, if you can't chuck a buck, then share it everywhere if you can, because that does just as much good. Basically,
it really does
absolutely just does as much good. What I'm thinking about and what I am concerned about is you dropped a bombshell before we started talking, which was the whole clean shaven face. Now, I have seen you use that kind of little goatee beard that you've had going on for a while to do everything from dust to fight off timber wolves to write very, very elegant writing using it.
I had a group of monkeys swinging off it at one point. So
I saw that. I just thought it was a TikTok viral sensation. And I didn't know that you were already down with that new technology. It was absolutely fantastic. What I want to know is, okay, what are you going to do if you get to like hour 12 and you realise that was the source of your power? I mean, do you have emergency beard that you can maybe stick on to trick yourself to thinking that you've got beard there?
So when I cut it off, I actually I did a clean cut, so that I was able to keep it, and I have it sewn into my chest right now. So if it turns out that hey, I made a mistake, I can always just kind of rip it off and get it stitched back on.
I was thinking what I would have done. I mean, that's just me. I would have got some Velcro.
That probably would be less painful. I wasn't thinking. I should have contacted you.
Just like, I'm just going to super glue this on so it's stuck forever. And then you'll be like, oh, wake Sean up, quick, what are we going to do? And I suppose somebody ripping the hair off of your chest, that would probably wake you up a kind of a little bit. Out of interest, what was the decision to cut it off? I mean, did you just get sick of it? I mean, was it just, are you going to start doing something else? Am I going to speak to you in 6 months' time? And it turns out that you've moved on from board games into, I don't know, reconditioning old locomotive steam engines. I mean, is this where we're going to be going with it? You're a cheesemonger. I do cheeses because it pleases.
I like to keep people on their toes. So once I've had to look for long enough, I'm like, nope, time for something different. And then the people that saw me one way, they're like, wait, is that Sean? Yep, it is. Hello.
Did your partner not like did you go for the total clean shave? I mean, did you go for the back shave? Did you go to the barber shop and you got the hot towel after you'd cut it off and totally got that bad boy kind of like, so it was like back to when you were like 12 years old again and went, this is so smooth. This is so smooth. I can eat soup again.
Well, so like I said, I just cut the one piece, or well, not one piece, but the entire thing off, and then I kind of bounced around between a little bit of stubble and some like baby shorn cleanness.
Wow, it's weird, isn't it? It's cold because you're like that. I'm going outside and it's cold. My face is cold. My face has been cold for a while because I kind of just let everything kind of grow, and then once every kind of like 6 weeks I'll go, right, I've had enough of this, and I'll shave the whole thing off. And my wife always gets a shock because she goes, you look like a baked bean, because I've not got much hair up top now, you know, so she's looked like the letter O. And then she always says the same thing, I don't like you when you've got a stubbly face, but also at the same time she goes, you look better when you've got hair on your face, even though I don't want to go near you. And I was like, Decisions.
My wife doesn't like me having it, so she was happy to see it go.
Yeah.
And if I get stubbly, my kids like to inform me that I'm pokey. I think is the term they use.
That's nice.
Calls me a shrub.
That's nice. Are you going to go the other way back? Are we going to get like some kind of big, huge Gandalf type beard? I mean, is that what you're going to come on the show? Are you going to come on the show next time and you're going to be like, look, I'm a wizard kind of thing? And
I think so. It's been a while, so we'll see when I decide to let things go.
I just can't believe it. You know. Are you still playing Star Realms?
I am, actually, yes.
Are you? I've not been on there for so long. Do you know why? Because
win-loss
everyone
ratio
else
is too low.
What's that?
Win-loss.
I was too. You know what? I was. Yeah, I know. I was just getting so upset with the whole situation of, I tried to play against people online, and I was like, you know how you go up the championship, and well, not the championship, but you know how you try to go up the ranking, and you've got to get like so many wins.
Yep.
And I was like getting fives, and then I was just having absolutely dreadful times because I'm pretty good with the base deck, so I was gonna set it up and potentially kind of challenge you again, I think, because what I like about you when I play Star Realms against you, and you should play, for people out there that if they play Star Realms online, they should definitely play Sean at Star Realms, and you can find him if you use it's Thing12 Games. You can find him that way, because he's very humble and he has a lot of humility when he wins. He's not the type of person who takes screenshots and posts them on Twitter with mocking or derisive tones. That is not the person that you would be playing.
Oh, not at all.
If you played at Star Realms, basically. Are you?
That doesn't sound like me at all. I may have done that for you specifically, because, I think we all know that you've earned it, maybe.
Well, I've not. I hardly. That's just actual lies. That's not true at all. I have always. You'll never. And every single time that I beat you, I think. It's not actually bad, you know, it's better than I thought it would be. I'm just checking it just now, and I've won 30 times and I've lost 46 times. So that's not actually bad. That's actually an awful lot better than I thought, really. Yeah, you know. It's probably the long-term record though, anyway. Anyway, I'm going to press the challenge button right now because this is on. I'll just continue. I'm going to get you, kind of like keep asking you to play like during the next 24 hours kind of thing.
You've got a good solid 39%. I mean, that's a good failing rate.
Well, I don't need. Yeah, that's. That's a see me after class kind of grade, kind of thing. Are you playing anything else kind of app-wise then? I mean, is there anything else that's kind of...
I've been playing a lot of Shards of Infinity as well. So I love deck builders, and Shards is an amazing deck builder. Really, really good. Because there's two different ways that you can win. You know, there's the beat the other player down and, you know, get their life total to 0. But they also have a secondary resource called Focus. And if you get your Focus up to max level, there's a specific card that when you play it, you do infinite damage. So you just wipe out everybody that you're playing against.
And I bet you that just gives you untold bragging rights then.
Oh, it does. You hit that and you're like, oh yes, it's so good. It's tough to do, but you can do it.
Are you playing Bill on that then from is it the Incorrigible Club?
I haven't played her yet.
Was it Fitzy?
Yep.
Fitzy Simmons?
Oh yes.
Have you been beating them? I bet you have, eh? I bet you've just been beating them senseless. It's just a terrible, terrible person. Do you know what? This is what this Extra Life thing is all about. This is so that you can spend the rest of the year, the other 360 whatever days of the year, kind of going around, you know, just beating people at Star Realms, showing off and bragging about it, and, you know, tricking people into thinking you've got seals in your game and stuff like that. So, you know, this, you know, one point in the year you can go, oh, there's my Halo back again. I'm on to you, Epperson. I'm telling you.
The cool thing with Shards is you can actually do multiplayer as well. So you could do a 4-player. I tend to like the delayed games, so you can actually just spend your time doing a turn versus the online games. And you can do 4-player in Shards.
Sounds like I get beat a lot, to be perfectly honest. I'm kind of like, oh, this sounds really good, but, you know, my humiliation can only go so far, I reckon, but I'm going to try it out. We shall definitely consider kind of jumping on that as well. I'm conscious of the time in terms of you having to rest up and making sure that you are at your at least 63% of maximum before you go off and dive and do some actual wonderful things for charity. I'll make sure that obviously the link to the charity goes into the show notes. Are people able to donate after the event as well? Absolutely, yeah. And any time throughout the year, that immediately goes to them. It's not like, you know, we have a processing, you know, time or anything like that. So, you know, cool. If someone's like, hey, I don't get paid until Sunday, or I get paid in the middle of the week next week, can I still donate? Absolutely. You can just hit us up through that link and donate, and it'll go straight to them. And that's awesome of you folks. Cool. No, as I say, we'll make sure that we put this in the show notes so that people can check it out, because it's kind to be kind, basically. If people want to keep an eye on what you're up to, you scallywag, where do you exist on the internet webs? I exist on the Twitters, Thing12 Games. I exist on Instagram, Thing12 Games. Facebook, guess what? Thing12 Games. I'm looking for the map coordinates to find out what happened to the other 11. I've killed them. I know you did. I know exactly. This is what I mean. It's like, I'll just do a little bit of work for charity, mate, and the rest of the year it's just evil, absolute evil. There's a wetlands behind my house, so you know, I don't go looking back there for bodies. You know, I'm not saying that's where I buried them. You're just taking it too far. Just make sure you weighted them down and remove the teeth. If you. And next week on our murder special, now we've done fighting the media, let's move on to how to get rid of them when you beat them. If you want to, how to get away with murder, the podcast. There's so many, but there's so many, isn't there? I mean, you could do a parody. You know, you go first. Okay, I'm going to cut this bit out. You know what I mean? You know. Mark was just walking along the lane, and he thought it was a normal day until he saw a hand sticking out from a bush. It turned out it was a body. And that's, you know, that's your crime, thing.
Exactly.
And they extend that stuff out for 12 episodes. I mean, I can't complain. I've stretched this out for over 300, so, I've got nothing to say. But if you would like to continue to join us on this kind of America's Got Talent journey, then check us out on the Googles by going and finding We're Not Wizards, and you will find us at all different kind of worn out places and worn out faces. We have a Facebook page. We've had a Facebook page for a while, which is just facebook.com/We're Not Wizards. And unlike Mark Zuckerberg, we usually tell the truth. Just putting that out there. And you can come after me anyway, doesn't matter. I'll just drag him into the sunlight and watch him burn. But the other thing you can do is you can subscribe, or you can give us a rating or review on the Apple podcast. And if you do that, then don't give us a 10 because it makes us big-headed, but don't give us a 1 because it'd make us cry. Give us something in the middle, like a 5, because it's average, and we're just a little bit average. But the person who's not been, but the person who's not been average tonight is the rather wonderful, the rather fantastic, the watch out, you could be evil the rest of the year. It's Sean Epperson. Thank you very much, Sean, for coming on.
Oh, well, thank you for having me, as always.
It's always good fun. There's only 2 more things to do. The first thing is to remember that we're many things, but we're not wizards. Are we wizards, Sean?
It's uncontested for me. The jury's out.
I've got to put my robe away because it's just got past Halloween. That's all I'm going to say. And the next thing is to say goodbye. So it's a goodbye from Sean. Say goodbye, Sean.
Goodbye, Sean.
And it's a goodbye from me. Remember, stay safe, roll 6s, make something awful, and check out Extra Life over the weekend. There'll be links in the show notes. Until the next time. Goodbye.
A wizard is never late. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.